Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ubuntu Touch Q&A, the UBports Foundation show discussing the development of Ubuntu Touch and our community's questions. This is episode 71, streamed live on March 7th, 2020, with only a few stream problems. My name is Dalton, and joining me this week are Marius.
Hello.
And Florian.
Hello.
And we already have questions about how the Qt upgrade is going. Good to see nothing ever changes around here.
My stool,
But instead,
my stool doesn't go any longer.
let's talk a little bit about some things that have been happening in Ubuntu Touch, such as some apps getting updates in the Open Store. So, there are a lot of updates. If you have a Pine phone or a OnePlus One or an Xperia X on ARM64, you know that your App Store is a little bit more scarce than if you were using the ARM-HF versions or a different device. But your App Store is getting way more full now with new updates this week. First off, we have a huge update to the UNAV satellite navigator, which has switched from the Oxide web browser engine to Qt web engine. Meaning it works better, it works faster now, and it doesn't use old deprecated technologies anymore.
It's also security error.
Yes, that.
More secure.
It may have shook up some things with scaling and other things, so if you've got the UNAV app downloaded, or if you've never tried it out before, please go give it a try and get some feedback to the team working on that, because it was a huge effort by Costales and friends to get UNAV updated. And thank you to everyone who worked on that. UNAV is a star app.
Yay.
Florian, I think that your favorite project got some updates this week that were 4 months in the making.
Well, teleports. Sometimes we move a little bit slower. But
Teleports,
at least we
the Telegram
could
client for Ubuntu Touch.
Yes. We could fix a few things that made our life very miserable with the layout in the message list. It turns out that the message bubble needs to do a lot of things like displaying web page previews, being in text-only mode, show that somebody has replied to it, show their embedded picture, whatsoever. So the more we hacked into that, the more bugs we had, and we had layout issues, text flowing everywhere, so that should be fixed now, more or less. But the biggest thing that we have is sticker sending support. So yes, you can now finally send stickers from teleports. There is one thing that I have to tell everyone, because some people reported they cannot see the stickers in the sticker panel. Most of the cases, it was like you never added stickers on the desktop client. So you can still not manage your sticker packs on teleports. You can only use the ones that you have installed. So if you have an empty sticker panel, please try to install sticker packs on the desktop client. The other thing is that there is no draft messages. So you can type something on the desktop, then just leave it, go to your device. After a few seconds, the draft will be saved on the desktop and it will appear on the mobile device. So drafts are synced between all devices. The drafts are also captured on the device when you leave the chat, when you suspend the app, or when you just press the power button on the phone to turn it off. In this case,
that sounds perfect for all the times that I start typing a message to you and then forget I was typing it.
Yes, that shouldn't happen anymore, or not that often. Yeah, small things like the secret chat shows now the fingerprint for the encryption key, and you can compare it with your peers. Please do it only in person, so not just filming it. That's not the sense of it. It's just for if you're standing side by side, and then you can show each other the key fingerprint and say, okay, that's the right key. Now everything is encrypted and you can rely on it. You can mute and unmute groups and chats now. That's also very nice, because some people added me lately to some groups without asking, and then I get bing, 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 bing all the time. And you're on the road, you cannot mute this thing, but now you can.
Cool.
Yeah, that's it more or less. And we try to make a few more updates now in shorter time. So yeah, we just lagged around Christmas and New Year.
Yeah, so if you want to get the new teleports update, you can head into the Open Store and update your apps. It's an excellent time to do that right now because there have been tons of updates.
Yeah, and also it's now 64-bit. Also 64-bit.
Yay!
Get on
And
your
we even upload the Intel version, so you can also run it on your desktop if you like.
Nice. There have been a lot of core apps getting updates this week, but probably the one that we should talk about is the Notes app, which also used Oxide for rendering its notes and now is moved to Qt Web Engine. So if you use the built-in Notes, or it's also called Reminders app that can sync to Evernote, it is now rendering in perfect Qt Web Engine goodness now.
Oh.
And they fixed the display of notes in dark mode. That is a lot of stuff happening this week, and I can show you the... Okay. If you want to see more apps that got updated, because there were a lot of them, you can head into the Open Store and sort by the last updated.
It's so nice to see so many good apps being updated, and also I'm super happy to see so much ARM64 because I'm so pumped for that.
Because you have an ARM64 device and you're getting lonely.
I have multiple, but yes.
Yep. Yes, so thank you everyone who's been working on all of that. It's awesome to see. All right. Oh, yes, this happened in the fortnight. Unity 8 was the old name for what is now called Lomiri.
Lomiri, yes.
So the desktop environment that runs Ubuntu Touch has a new name. And for most users, you won't notice any difference at all. It's just the new name.
Yep.
It has Mir in it. People are noticing that. It wasn't a requirement, but it was pretty cool that it happened.
Mm-hmm. It's just a new name.
It's very nice to see the process of selecting that with us. And, well, it debuted to not much fanfare, just this is what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very happy that that's how it went, because it's just one component.
I think one of the more important part of the rename is that now hopefully things will pop up in other repositories, other distros, I mean. And a good example for this is it's already good progress on, I have Debian at least, and then I have seen Fedora and Arch. All of those three are in progress, as far as I know. There is, if you want to follow on that, I think it's on GitHub. There is a Lomiri Arch or Arch Lomiri, something like that, and it's made by Ivan, I think.
Ivan and Dan CT12 is getting in on it too. But he's doing it more for the Pine phone than General Arch.
That's nice. But if you make it for one device, it works for the other.
Yeah, so I think he's mainly going for Alarm rather than full Arch. But yeah, it's very nice to see. And thank you to everyone who is bearing with us as we go through this renaming process and helping us out. It's been very helpful.
Yeah, it has been a huge task, and we are not even halfway. So it's a lot of stuff to do.
Yes. That is, I can put that link in chat. I should have done that earlier.
Speaking about stuff to do, OTA 12.
Yeah, only a few things happening, right? The last bugs that are going in are the longest bugs we have ever worked on ever in the history of this project. But they're getting there.
Are you sure that's not the Nexus 5 camera issue, though? I feel like that's one of...
Oh, yeah, good point.
That's probably
but
one
it isn't... I don't think it's a race.
No, it's not. It's not a good race, at least.
But apps like Sensor Status are no longer hanging for 30 seconds or more on startup. Anything that tries to use location as soon as it starts up. That's been fixed now thanks to Rachanan. And a lot of things have been going in and are either in PRs and in review or otherwise being worked on at the moment. So thanks again for everyone's patience. If you want to try out what's going to become OTA 12 and you're still unstable, I highly recommend switching over to the RC channel through system settings in the update settings, or by running the UBports installer without using the wipe option. You can switch to the RC channel, release candidate, and that will not lose any of your data, but you will be able to try out what's about to become OTA 12. That releases every Wednesday.
Ooh, fancy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm just coming out with weird noises at this point while you're saying the news.
You're a little nervous with your streaming today?
I am a little bit on edge. I'm just looking at my memory usage like, ugh. But it's fine.
OBS has a bug that causes a memory leak, so
yeah,
it's been fun this week.
Yeah.
We're using the app image version now, and everything's fine.
No, Snap.
So thanks to the people who recommended that. Snap version.
Snap version.
That one too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Snap.
Sorry.
It was just much
Breathe.
easier. Much easier to install the Snap version for some reason. But yeah.
Breathe. Alright, then. There are a couple of calls for testing between the forums and the UBports QA group on Telegram. But if you head into the OS section of forums.ubports.com, Alfred is asking for some help with testing his changes to make out-of-memory handling work faster and better. So if you're interested in doing a little bit of hacking, especially if you have an Xperia X and you've been having the trouble with the browser switching to or from it, freezing up the whole entire system, it'd be really helpful if you helped us test that out.
Yep.
Okay. Let's take a breath, everyone.
I'm just
I have no idea how that sounded on mic. And thank our sponsors. So, thank you to everyone who's helping to help us make Ubuntu Touch a possibility, including our infrastructure sponsors, Smooze, Private Internet Access, DigitalOcean, and Packet.net. You're all helping us create Ubuntu Touch by giving us the things that we hosted on.
Mm-hmm.
And a special thanks to our community sponsors on Patreon, including George Toma, Darko Balka, Thoralf San, Laurentine Tillman, Milan Ilev, Scott Marley, Rena Mirkolev, Morgan McMillan, Sergio Shvetsov, and Yogesh Patar. If you'd like to join them and have me mispronounce your name as well, you can head over to patreon.com/ubports. Or there are other ways at ubports.com/donate. And again, we do really appreciate everyone who's donating to us, whether it be via PayPal or LibrePay or Patreon. Huge thank you. You are making it possible for us to work on this, in some cases, full time. And that is really special for us to be able to work on the thing that we love. So truly thank you to everyone who's working on that. It's not just something that I say because it's not just something to say. It's true.
Yeah.
Okay. And now we head into our next portion of the show, which is all about questions from the community. It's the question part of the question and answers. I need to stop. We take these questions from our forum every 2 weeks, and you can find the post in the news section over at forums.ubports.com. Ask your question there. It'll get put in the document to be answered first. We start this week with Total Sonic asking a question. With the new versions of Notes and Deco 2 both updating their code from using the old Oxide to the current Qt web engine, and with current efforts underway or planned to update UNAV, UWriter, and Flash in the same way as well, I was wondering whether the removal of Oxide support from the image, in order to gain some space for other features, was planned soon, or if it was going to be later. If it is removed, am I correct in assuming that beyond the apps that I listed, it would also affect Agra web apps? That is correct. Agra web apps, which is a different type of web app container, which is built specifically off of Oxide. Any apps which are still using that after all this time, would indeed be broken by a Qt Web Engine upgrade. I don't think that we have announced it with enough time to remove it in OTA 13. I think we'll need to give a larger announcement and notice before we do that. However, it is indeed something that we are thinking of doing in the shorter term future rather than the longer term.
Mm-hmm.
Florian, would you like to take read the next one?
Actually, there were two questions.
From Total Sonic.
Yeah. Second
I was already at Apple, so I read Apple, you have to wait. So it's still Total Sonic. You got a second one. With the removal of scopes, finally done in Ubuntu 12, would enabling the ability to launch an app on startup optimally via a new option in system settings be something that could be considered for OTA 13 or 14. This would allow people that prefer alternative app launchers to just the left edge favorite of the app drawer, such as the currently available Sprinter Launcher Modular, to have them integrated more smoothly with UT. I think Dalton has some ideas about it, right?
Audio better?
Yeah, audio is perfect now.
Good. Okay. So, this was a discussion that came to a head this week, and I apologize for allowing it to get to that point. The thing that people are concerned about is that there was a way to get back to the dash very easily prior to OTA 12. You could get back to the dash by just swiping in from the left. Now the drawer is on that gesture, so there's no way to get to it quite as easily. Or to get to an app quite as easily. You can get to the drawer from anywhere, just like that. This opened up the discussion of everything from customization to putting things on the desktop to a lot of ideas that people have had for a while. So I'm glad that we were able to discuss those. However, I do have an idea which might be able to be implemented in the shorter term. Definitely not by OTA 12, but in the future. To maybe make it easier to launch an app or do a specific thing.
So I also want to chime in real quick here. One thing that I've been experimenting on my free time, I like to say that, where you can drag icons from the dash, or no, not the dash, the drawer into more or less a desktop background, so you can launch them from the desktop background. That's also an idea.
And all these ideas have pros and cons right now, so it's hard to say exactly what's going to be the best solution for the future, but we do certainly need to be trying things out instead of just talking about them.
Yeah.
I'm going to make some mock-ups of what I'm thinking so that I can actually show people what I'm talking about rather than just talk about it, because I think that I'm going to talk past people if I just tell them what we're doing. Because we can find problems with any ideas that we have for this, using a different gesture or dragging icons out or anything like that. I fully understand that there are issues with all of these ideas, so we'll see what works the best and how we can solve the problems with these. But thank you for the question, because it was a discussion that came up this week very excitedly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, over to the next question from App Lee. With the ongoing work for the Pine phone and soon to be released OTA 12, I was wondering how the Pine phone will become a promoted device. I mean, does it occurs in sync with the OTAs, or how integrate is it to do work? My English today. It work done to port the device and the work on OS wrote by itself. Okay, English is hard today, but yeah,
it's fine. So the work on the Pine phone is, of course, ongoing. And I think you'll need to watch for news coming soon on the Pine phone. And we'll just say that.
What? I don't even know this.
Yeah.
But that's not much information for our listeners. Now you're tearing them apart with
You're tearing me apart too.
I guess that's all we'll need. But yes, the plan is to make it become one of those primitive devices installable with the UBports installer, and have it release in sync with the OTA upgrades. Of course, that will also mean that it'll need system image running, so that is a definite possibility before we're able to, or definite need before we're able to ship correctly on that device.
Yeah,
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Gizmo Chicken asks, Marius, how's the packaging of Lemuri for Debian going?
It's going fairly well, actually. It's if you know Debian, new Q, it takes a while to get into Debian because everything needs to be checked and stuff like that. But the packaging itself seems to go really well. I'm also new to this whole Debian way of doing stuff, but it seems to go well. I think the best man to ask for that is Mike Graverall, the Sunweaver. He has a blog that he usually does, and I think he will blog post pretty soon about the progress too. But it is going really well.
Yep, sunweavers.net. Oops. .net. Sunweavers.net. I got it.
Good
That'll be
work.
the place to go to learn more.
Yeah.
Luxus asks a question of Florian. Is that GStreamer droid-based camera thing only a Halium feature, or will it also come to current devices such as the Nexus 5 and Fairphone 2?
Well, before the show I said, let's not have GStreamer Droid come to the old devices. Let the old devices come to GStreamer Droid, which basically means we should aim for the old devices to also get them based on a Halium port. And in fact, we're already trying. So there are experimental builds for Fairphone 2 and for Nexus 5. Unfortunately, nobody can spare an 1+1, so we could also work on that. But maybe I can do this when I can shift around to another device. So yeah, all the devices that we can bring up to the Halium base and preferably to the 7.1 base, they will then have that. If we really need to bring it back to an older device that was ported with the classic way, kinda maybe possible, I don't know. Nobody looked into it so far. But let's not go that way just because we don't want to try out Halium on the old devices. We want to try it out, and then when it's working and it seems to be okay for most of them, yeah, then we are there already. So I can just ask for a little patience. It might be sooner or later on the old devices as well. By the way, also the Nexus 5 camera and playback issues are fixed with that Halium port. So I think a lot of people will want to change to that. Yeah. Anything else to add, Marius?
No, I haven't really worked too much on that. I think the GStreamer land is Roger-chan's and Notkit and Florian's area.
Not so much myself. I'm just trying to follow the steps. Maybe documenting a little bit if I have time, but I'm not even there. Yeah, so I'm.
Well, it's Roger-chan and Notkit. They are the masters of GStreamer land.
So maybe to explain for the listeners that don't know what we are talking about, the camera pipeline can have various variants. Not really, but at least we have now two possibilities, and the new one seems to fix a lot of issues that we have with camera, with recording, with synchronization of audio, with routing of everything. So yeah, it looks very promising. If it can be a standard for the future ports, it would be awesome, of course. So multiple device maintainers or porters trying this out now, and the feedback is not so bad. I didn't try it on one of my Play devices, but maybe I will do it in the next weeks because I'm missing the camera also on the new ports, the working camera. Yeah. So let's hope we can bring it in. We can put it in all the ports. That would be awesome.
Yeah. And if people want to test GStreamer Droid already, they can do that on their devices, can't they?
Basically, yes, because it's not anything that you, for example, you don't need any kernel changes for that. You just need to install and configure the packages in the right way. There are actually some instructions on the forum, probably. We could have some forum entry in, well, I'm not quite sure where it is at the moment. It's so many new messages that coming my way, at least.
Apologies.
It's somewhere in the forum. Let's see. Wasn't it
How to
porting?
test GStreamer Droid base camera support in Ubuntu Touch for Halium 7.1 base port.
Yes.
In the OS
This
section of the forum. It is way close to the top.
Okay. Perfect. OS section. So it's not importing.
So if you have a device that you're already porting with Halium 7.1, you can use those instructions. Or you can use the Fairphone 2 7.1 port, which is in the porting section of the forum, forums.ubports.com. If you got a Fairphone 2, you can try out that port. It's almost feature complete, but it's not exactly to the level of the 5.1 port yet. It is, I've heard, much more stable, though.
Basically, it will also change the camera app. So it's really a change on all the levels of the pipeline. At least it's the levels that are under our control. But it seems, as far as I see, not a really serious or big thing that needs to be changed. So yeah, it can be done by people that are interested, I think. And it's still under development. So if it really breaks your device and you can see nothing at all anymore, then yeah, don't blame us, please. We are still not finished.
There are many people in the chat asking about ports to new devices. There are ports to new devices going on all the time, and of course the Xperia X and OnePlus 3 are getting very fleshed out now. They're in the installer, and there are still more devices that are ready to go in the installer, or almost ready, but people are working on getting the build system working better.
And just to mention one, that's the BQU, I think. And that's also looking already very good. It's not mentioned so much on the forums and stuff, but I just want to give a shout out for that because maybe some people have an Aquarius lying around.
So one of the blockers on this area is me, to say, because the infrastructure there is fairly complex. Bad and complex. And I wanted to clean it up before we added new devices, and I've been stuck with Debian, with PinePhone, with OTA 12, with everything.
We're getting there.
We are getting there. So to everyone that is pinging me about getting the devices in, I'm working on it. Maybe someone can help me. That would be
I was looking at how that works in Jenkins before, so
it doesn't work.
It's weird.
Yeah,
it doesn't work in Jenkins. Yeah, right.
It's Jenkins. So ideally, what would be cool is to have GitLab thing, but yeah. A GitLab builder that builds image.
Yeah, it's So that's new devices coming. Absolutely, always have been. They just come slow. And then there's questions about specific devices. If you'd like to port Ubuntu Touch to your specific device, you'll need a port of Lineage OS, 12.1 or 14.1, and you can head over to docs.ubports.com, click the porting documentation to learn more about that. Yep. Okay.
Oh, I think we missed a small question about if the OTR 12 will work on the Nexus 4.
Yeah, it will.
I would say yes.
Yep, it will.
There is
That's not being dropped yet.
No, we don't drop your devices until we drop them.
You'll know.
But speaking, maybe we can, because we have actually a few minutes more left, and we are very late, so we don't want to block the people too long. Maybe we should finish on time still. But we have a few minutes left. The question is also about the old devices. Are we going to drop them? And I think we get it every OTA, and every time we change something that sounds like a huge update. But we try to keep the old devices as long as possible working and healthy. I was on a forum thread, I think. The only problem that I see over time is, first, those devices get old, so they will start having hardware failures at a certain point in time, especially the ones that are older than, let's say, 5 years, because that's the lifetime thingy with phones.
They're designed to have.
There is some kind of, let's say, it's not designed to fail after 5 years, but you can expect batteries will wear out. And it's really the question, if you want to keep this device then for yourself and for your comfort, there will be a point in time where you want to switch to a new device. Yeah? Of course, everybody is used that we just support that older range of devices, and that's why everybody hangs so much on it, I think. But as soon as we start having new devices coming, and also there are things going towards Android 9 support, we are just started with that. There's a lot of things going on with Android 9, with Halium for Android 9 or Android 10. Still, it's a lot of work to do, but until we have those things established, I think we will see that really new devices that are just a few months old could be supported, or in terms of years, maybe 1 or 2 years. So we want to move forward with that, because supporting the old devices just for supporting them is also not that much fun, especially when it comes to security things. You also have to imagine that your kernel will be 3 point something, which is very, very, very old. So at a certain point in time, there are no patches anymore for security for that. Plus also driver patches, like we had now a Wi-Fi, some Wi-Fi issue, and people were asking if the Nexus 5 will get a new firmware for that. And I must say, okay, I don't believe they will make this firmware happen, because this device is has reached end of life some years ago. So yeah, just talking about that, and picking up Rodney for their old retail devices. Yeah, the problem is old retail devices is still a no-go, because we cannot rebuild the device tree at the moment. So if anyone solved the legal issue behind that, we could do it. So at a certain point in time, I don't know, we don't know if it will be 2004, if it will be something with systemd related things, if we want to move to that, or it's just because we cannot rebase on Halium. The legacy devices that are locked down will get an issue with that, but it's still so far away. So let's not talk about if we continue supporting them. Yes, we continue supporting them. If we're going to drop anything, we will announce it very, very early to give everybody a fair chance to get to a new device. So we will not say, the next OTA in 3 months, you will kill all the 7 devices that we support. No, we will try to announce it very, very early.
Yep.
And yeah, that's the point. But we are living in a very fast-paced world with mobile devices. We just want to keep them alive, but let's see how far we can. Yeah. Good. Yeah, that was not on the list, but I think it's worth mentioning again. New devices are still safe.
Sure. Anything else anyone would like to bring up from chat or anything?
Ask us something.
Alex is
That's all right.
Alex is happening. How is the stool app? It's going fine.
Oh yes, this inside joke is amazing. Destination Linux, someone bought a stool, and now it's the hype of this entire community.
Not someone. Michael did. Michael Tunnell. I
bought a stool, and now you're making an Ubuntu Touch app about stools.
Yes, and it will be as on the last. I think it was last Saturday. we decided, or basically I decided, that it will be a multiplayer game that we can it's like a clicker game where the stool goes up and up and up and up, and you need to keep it up, and then you get points. And I'm like 90% done with it, and it's awesome. It's a silly game. It's shit, but it's cool. I'm so excited about it.
Okay. That sounds fun.
10 out of 10 we'll play again. Yes, definitely. Well,
App of the year.
yeah, the thing that might happen is that it's so addictive because it uses the cookie clicker logic, and the cookie clicker logic is addictive in itself.
Just that,
Yeah.
that like awful design paradigm that just hits everyone.
The grind.
Yeah. What question is this? Yeah. So, I guess we'll cap it off.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. With OTA 12 is continuing to be worked on, and everything that we've talked about here will continue to be worked on. I sure hope we can hit RC in OTA 12 soon, but we've got just a few more things on the projects board that you can find at github.com/UBports. Click on the projects link, and you can see how OTA 12 is progressing there.
And also, if you want to help out, if you want to code or do translations or any of that, that's also highly welcomed. And I think now is the time where we need it the most, because we are overworked. Most of our developers.
Things are going pretty heavy right now, but
Yeah,
we'll get there.
you know, the train is full of coal, but it's chugging along.
The train being full of coal would be a good. You can find all sorts of social websites for UBports if this isn't enough for you somehow, including Facebook, Twitter, PixelFed, Mastodon, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Diaspora. Or if you want our news delivered directly to your chat client, you can find us in Telegram or Matrix with our news channels. If you'd like to chat with us, get involved, you can find us on Matrix or Telegram at UBports and #UBports, reverse respectively, I apologize, or at forums.ubports.com, where you're able to learn more about the project and say longer form content things. All the links for all of those are down in the video description on YouTube. Thank you everyone for watching. It's been a week. Hopefully next time we can come back with a better streaming setup and get this done.
Hey,
right.
OBS was awesome when I had a correct version. And also, since we are on YouTube, we are obligated by law to say this: slap the like button and subscribe.
And if you had a question that wasn't answered by us this time, be sure to head to any of our chats or the forums to ask those. We tend to miss them when they are in YouTube comments. So thank you everyone again. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.